Ladies and gentlemen of the class of '99, wear sunscreen. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it.
Yes, this is excellent advice. But have you ever stopped to consider the type of sunscreen you're using? Many of us use sunscreen to protect ourselves from the sun's harmful rays. But did you know that usually, when you put sunscreen on, you can still see it on your skin, but eventually it washes off, right? Doing that every year, between 4,000 to 6,000 tons of sunscreen washes off our bodies and into the ocean, killing animals and damaging coral reefs. The common chemicals used in sunscreens are oxybenzone, homosalate, and avobenzone. These can induce coral bleaching, damage DNA, deform, and even kill marine life. The bleaching of coral reefs have been observed in countries around the world, and it's up to all of us to take action to protect these important ecosystems. I'll give you a second to consider if you've seen bleached corals before. I know I have. Snorkeling and diving in the Maldives to Tunisia, I've seen bleached corals. At that point, I didn't know much about it because I wasn't educated. But looking back, I realized that this is a serious problem, as coral reefs are home to a diverse area of marine life and are essential to our planet's ecosystem. Ever since I was little, I've always loved being at the beach, playing in the sand and staying in the ocean for hours and hours. That's what made me happy. So when we started Quest, I knew I wanted to work on a project involving the ocean. I explored a few ideas, but finally came up with the idea of creating my own sunscreen that would be safe for marine life. I then went to the Green School shop to check what products they sold. They had natural versions of deodorant, shampoo, cleaning products, but they didn't have sunscreen. So I saw an opportunity to develop a new product for the Green School community. This required a lot of research. I had to see which brands offered reef-friendly sunscreens. Here are some examples. I found many more reef-friendly sunscreen whilst I was on holiday in Hawaii. Hawaii has banned non-reef-safe sunscreen in 2021. But after talking to a small boutique and taking a closer look, I found out that the small Hawaiian shops check the sunscreen that is being sold in their shop, but big shops like Walmart, Target do not check or follow the regulations. According to C6sunscreen.co, even if a sunscreen is labeled as reef safe, there's no guarantee that it actually won't do any harm to corals, fish, and other marine life. This is because there is no regulation when it comes to marketing a product as reef safe. This is a clear example of greenwashing, a tactic used by companies to trick us into buying their products with the promise of protecting the environment. This is something I wanted to avoid when making my own, and here it is. My sunscreen is called RITO, which stands for Rip It in the Ocean. You might wonder how I came up with that name. Well, let me ask everyone here today. Who knows how it feels to rip it in the ocean? I know I do. It's what I love to do every weekend with my friends, my sister, and my mom. Whether you're a professional or just starting out, you'll know the euphoric feeling of catching a wave. It's truly incredible. And this is the feeling I want the people who buy my sunscreen to remember. And for those who haven't surfed yet, it is still usable for you. It has a great smell and smooth texture. As you can see here, I've created two options for my consumers. One of them is like zinc. The other one is a typical sunscreen. 15% of every sale will be donated to Living Seas. Living Seas Asia is a marine conservation company rebuilding healthy corals by involving local communities to ensure a long-term sustainable impact. I also created an Instagram account to reach a wider audience, promote my reef-safe sunscreen, and raise awareness about the importance of using natural ingredients. I strongly believe that even small actions like choosing reef-safe sunscreen can make a big impact in protecting our environment. At the start of this journey, I had a very different picture of what I wanted my sunscreen to be like, but that was impossible because I had limited reef-friendly ingredients. I had to experiment with different sunscreen formulas and make adjustments along the way. But I'm very proud of myself for coming this far and creating my own brand of reef-safe sunscreen. Throughout this project, I've grown and become a better version of myself. I've learned a lot about marine life and about the significant harm sunscreen chemicals can have on it. This project helped me do a lot of things. For example, When I made my first sunscreen sample, Ibu Andina from the iHub team helped me a lot because I didn't know how to make sunscreen before starting this project. With her guidance, I learned how to make reef-friendly sunscreen, and I became aware of the importance of using natural ingredients. In conclusion, my project to create my own sunscreen was a great opportunity for me to learn about the harmful chemicals that are often found in commercial sunscreens. Through my research, I discovered that many people are not aware of the potential health risks associated with some of these chemicals, and that there's a need for safer, more natural alternatives. So, what can we do to protect ourselves from the sun while also protecting our ocean? Look for sunscreens that use natural mineral-based ingredients like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. These ingredients effectively block UV rays and are less likely to cause negative health or environmental effects. A lot of research has shown that a high SPF does not tell you anything about how much UVA protection you're getting. For example, SPF 15 blocks 93% of the UV rays. SPF 30 blocks 97% of the UV rays. SPF 50 blocks 98% of the UV rays. Do you see that there's not much of a difference between these percentages? So why do many of us look at the SPF when buying a sunscreen? Next time you buy a sunscreen, instead of looking at the SPF, look at the ingredients too. My speech has come to an end, but before I leave the stage, I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude. First, I'd like to thank Ivalora, Iwanji, and the iHub team for their guidance and support throughout this wonderful journey. I'd like to thank my mom for always wanting to help me and being an inspiration. My sister, my friends, and especially Alma for their encouragement and support throughout this wonderful journey. And lastly, the ocean for inspiring me to do this project. Without all of you, I would not have been able to accomplish what I have achieved today. Finally, I'd like to offer you one piece of advice, a tip for the future. Wear sunscreen, but remember to choose which sunscreen you wear wisely. Thank you.